Hey guys, I'm back. After a long hiatus and a long drive and a long road trip and many challenges, I'm back and I'm excited to be back. I wanted to start this video with something that I hear a lot. I like to make a combination of videos based on things that I'm learning that I can share with you guys and then solidify in my own mind. But also, I like to make content that's relative to conversations that seem to keep coming up. Like I hear them from multiple people, or people reach out on LinkedIn or on YouTube and they ask me why something is a certain way, or they ask a question that's indicative that they're struggling with a certain thing. And that topic for today is purpose. And so I'm just going to read my notes here on finding your purpose. It's like a really challenging thing to do. And with so many things in life, there's a fine line between listening internally and translating, the thoughts and the emotions and feelings and the things that you're going through into action items, things to take action on. So number one, in terms of finding your purpose, I don't think that you could, the reason I'm even bringing it up is because it's so relevant to everything in life, whether you want to start a business or whether you want to grow, you want to, have growth in your relationships, in your personal life, in your professional life, whatever it is, you have to understand yourself. And I think there's so many people walking around, just based on my personal experience over this last couple weeks, interacting with friends and family and strangers, it's really clear to me that there's a lot of people they're kind of like alive, but they're not living. They're like zombies. And so you want to become clear on what your purpose is, what your end goal is, right? Like you would never get in your car and drive around for no reason. Even if you're going to drive your car aimlessly because you had a bad day and you want to be alone with your thoughts, like that is a reason. You would never do something in life without a reason. And so it begs the question why so many people go on and they go to a job that they hate, or they do things that they don't even know why they're doing them. They haven't evaluated, they haven't paused to check in with themselves. The reason that I think this is super important is because you can go on and avoid finding your purpose and probably still have relationships. You could probably still find wealth. You can probably do many things in life still. Clearly, there are many people that do this. But I think the biggest thing that you miss out on is being fully fulfilled. And I love the quote that I've heard a couple people say now in terms of wealth and achievement within that space, which is like, I'm happy now that I'm wealthy, but I'm not happy because I'm wealthy. And I think that's a really powerful thing because they're fulfilled even while they're in the pursuit of their goal. And so I don't think that you can have a high level of fulfillment without understanding your purpose. So how do we go about understanding purpose? So I personally believe, I've heard Ed Milet say this, I've heard Myron Golden talk about this, that, fulfillment is always going to be in the pursuit of service of others. You should test this out for yourself. Like this is something that I always thought, like the thing and the toys, the cars, the stuff would always, they would be an end and a means in and of themselves. But when I was living in New York City, I was going through some things, and I remember going to a coffee shop. I had no job, and I paid for a couple people in line ahead of me, and I had no idea where money was going to come in from or what I was going to do. And that feeling, that high, that rush of like getting to just see the smile on somebody's face for a $5 or $6 cup of coffee or whatever, it was so powerful. So go test this on yourself. If you don't think that serving others is something that it's not for you or whatever, like go test it. You can be anonymous. You can like this week, I there was a really sweet grandmother and a grandson in line at the checkout line, and we were going through getting groceries, and I was like, hey, you guys are hilarious. Can I please get, can he pick a snack from the wall, and can I just get something for you guys? And it could be something small. It could be anonymous. It could be public. Like in that case was like, they knew that I was buying it for them. But go test this out yourself and see how it makes you feel. If you feel nothing, you're dead inside and you need to check yourself. But I challenge you to go try this because it's immensely rewarding. And I think one of the reasons it's rewarding, and when I look at psychology research, it's like when we get out of the mind of self and me and my problems and my things, and I go to other, all of a sudden my stress and my internal anxiety and all that stuff, my fear and all that goes way down. And so that's something I wanted to leave you guys with. I do think that fulfillment and purpose and the service of others are all tied together. So go test that for yourself. The next one that I heard that I recently really liked is in terms of spiritual life, like again, mind, body, spirit, like I want to be a high achiever. I want to have high levels of growth. And so I don't think that you can, I just don't think that you can do that without growth in every area, physically, mentally, spiritually. And so for me, you guys know that I'm a person of faith. And so when you're going to try to figure out what your purpose is, you've got to take an inventory of your skills and gifts. And I'll talk about that in a second. But the next piece is if you guys wanted to go and you wanted to figure out how to fix something on your car, say you weren't going to bring it into the shop, you wanted to figure out how to do it yourself, where would you go? You'd probably go to the owner's manual. If you were going to set something up from IKEA, where would you go? You'd look at the step guide, the book that tells you how to assemble the thing. Well, for me, I go to my maker and I'm like, what, the owner's manual for me, the only person that has that, and what's my purpose, right? And that leads on to skills, abilities, and gifts. And so what are the things that I enjoy doing that bring me joy? What are the things that I don't enjoy doing? What are the things that I'm really strong at, like I have a superpower at? What are the things that, what things am I gifted in? And what things do I have the ability to develop a gift in, right? So like, as we go on through life, I think people develop different interests in things because their gifts adapt. They grow and they add new things on and new skills on. And so you start stacking those. And so I love the quote that, you're either growing or you're dying. And growth is not a stagnant process. It's a constant process. It's a constant process that we're going through. And in another video, I'll talk about a book that I went over multiple times during my road trip, which was 10x is easier than 2x. And this book falls along that same lines of you're either growing or you're dying, really. So owner's manual, we kind of covered that. And then talking about taking an inventory of your skills and gifts, I think this can be challenging for a lot of people, especially people that have a high level of EQ or are maybe humble, because you constantly discount the things that you're good at instead of realizing how good you are. And I love also the quote that perfection is the lowest standard, because there's no such thing. You're never going to have enough information. You're never going to have enough information to start that YouTube channel. You're never going to be perfectly ready to have that child. You're never going to be perfectly ready to start that business. So just do it. Momentum is key, right? An object in motion remains in motion. Physics principles are microcosms of each other. And so like, they apply not just in physics, but in other things. And so you'll hear people talk about how it's easier to make a lot of money in a short amount of time. That's momentum. You'll hear about people talking about all kinds of things. But recently I was having a conversation with a friend on starting a YouTube channel, and it was like, I don't want to do it. I need a studio. I need this. I need that. It's like, no, you don't. Like, it's going to take you 1,000 views. 1,000 videos to get good at it. It's going to take you just so much overcoming inertia, like just getting started from 0 to 1. You might as well start now. And I love how Alex Hormozi says it. The best time to start creating content was when you were born. The second best time is now. And so I think that's hugely important. And then the last piece that I wanted to leave you guys with was awareness. I think meditation is super powerful for this. There's always so much going on in our chaotic lives, but like, how can you figure out what your skills, abilities, and gifts are if your humility is discounting them all the time, number one? And number two, how can you be aware of those things if you're not even in touch with your own emotions? And so I think for me, I thought everybody felt the same. They were metacogniting, they were thinking about their thinking on what would go on through a conversation or through a day or a small interaction with someone. And I realized that that's not how everyone goes about life. And so they're not always aware of how they even feel about a thing. And a lot of times people will get in a mood and they don't even know why they're in a mood. And it's because they're not aware of what's transpiring over the course of a week or a day. And so I think meditation can be a powerful tool, prayer, whatever, but having an awareness of your thoughts and your emotions will help you start the process of becoming aware of what things am I good at, what things do I enjoy, what things add value to me. And yeah, I hope this helps you guys. I've said it so many times, but I just don't think that I think that finding purpose is the number one thing, because that maps to your why, and your why will get you through whatever adversities that you're going to face, whatever fears, whatever inadequacies you're going to feel about yourself. It's going to pull you through that. And so finding purpose is like the absolute key. And there was one other quote that I wanted to leave you with from Dan Sullivan, which was really powerful, but now it's eluding me. It was in 10x is easier than 2x. And he was talking about, I'll have to do it in my book review of 10x is easier than 2x because it's eluding me for now. But purpose is number one. You need to have a why. You need to understand what you're doing, why you're doing it. Don't get in the vehicle of life, into the car of life, and drive around aimlessly with no reason and no purpose. I hope this helps you guys.